Hey, what's up, homies? Welcome back. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this trade I took last night. Just a pretty heads up, I went against the trend, and I don't even know why I did that, but I did do that. So here we're on the 1 hour. You can see we came up, made a new high, made a new high, made a new high. Kind of came down here. Interesting. Okay, what's going on here? Because we just broke this low. Come up here and we make a new high. In my previous video, I said we made a new high, but barely. And then we kind of start shifting here, okay? And then boom, we kind of rip down. But look, at this point, we're still making like equal lows at this point. So it's kind of like, what are we doing? But then we're starting to follow this structure. So I'm going to make my screen chaos again. And here's basically what I was thinking and why I was thinking it. And I was kind of in the lower to mid range. So let's go ahead and dial down to the 15. And here's kind of what I did, why I did it. So I'm not really upset about it. We came down into here. We're in this trend. We're at the top of this trend line. We get a change of character on the 15-minute. It doesn't present a fair value gap like I had hoped, but we did on the 5-minute present one, and we got a change of character up in here in this zone, or over here, my bad, right here. So when we came down, I entered into this trade and then sat in a little bit of drawdown because it happened pretty quick. So I was like, all right, I think we're going to maybe potentially break out of here, and then we'll go up towards these highs, because you can see here rejection wick, engulfing, rejection wick, rejection wick, rejection wick. So we keep rejecting off this zone. So in my head, I'm like, maybe we're going to come back up here and test this level over here. But we did not do that, and we actually got a monstrous rip down. So I'm down 150 on the day on this account, which is no big deal. Like I said, we're trading prop firms right now, so I'm in the combine, and I have not taken any payouts or anything like that, or even used my funded accounts until I get a solid pattern down. I'm just keeping them afloat, so to speak. So I'm not really tripping. I'm basically, break even and still trying to figure this out, but I'm trying to stay off of the 1 minute as much as I can. But let's go ahead and get into it just a little bit and see what the 1 minute looked like. Here, let me back up here so we can kind of get an idea of what was going on here. So, we had this change of character, and then we're above the 21 EMA here, and we're above VWAP, but we're kind of flatlining. So I'm sitting here thinking, hey, maybe we're going to come up here, retest into the zone, get a lot of this indecisiveness, and then once we create this bearish IFVG, it completely stays underneath it. And honestly, had I had been up at this time, I may have gotten out if I saw this, but I was trying to go to sleep. I wasn't asleep. I stayed there in bed till 2 o'clock in the morning, so I should have been checking this. But I'm also trying to do this thing where I don't check my trades overnight, because I literally will dream about them and they will mess with my head, and I already have trouble sleeping, and I already don't sleep enough as it is. And yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things. Like, I have sleep apnea and I got sleep issues, so it's kind of a bummer, but it kind of is what it is here. And then we get this change of character here. We come up, we respect this little fair value gap to the bearish. So this would have been a nice little indication, potentially come up here and fail. We could have taken a nice little trade here and let it rip down quite a bit. But as you can see, this is kind of a monstrous move because I'm only using one MES. So, I mean, look at how many points this is right here, from 551. I mean, this is a huge move, man. It's 50 points. So I don't know if I'm going to continue to do that or just switch over to 2 and try to target a smaller or lesser than. But I think I had my stop in a decent place under if we just came down and swept the previous day low and we stayed under the support, if we would have. But, us not making a new high right here should have caught my attention. But I almost thought we were building a little bit of a wedge formation. So, yeah. I'm going to switch over. You can see here, I hit my personal daily loss limit, got locked out. We'll go over to the performance stats here, win rate or whatever. Look at this if you want, do whatever. I'm just showing you guys every day what's going on. You can determine your own from here. So this is what I mean, man. My risk to return is just completely off, and I really, really, really need to get better at holding through these things and just letting it do. That's kind of partially why I left it alone whenever I got into it, because I'm like, dude, you have to let your winners run, and you just have to let your losers stop. So my initial stop came up to like here, and I was like, well, that's a little bit too tight. When hindsight 2020, I should have had it up in here, because once we broke this zone, I should have been all right with getting out of it. So that's kind of what I was thinking. That was kind of my thought process here. We're going to keep working onto BSR and dialing in this strategy. And I think all in all, it's just going to be a little bit tricky. And we're doing a lot of this wishy-washy, no clear direction. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, you see it's just kind of like on the EMA, something over here, like this is a solid entry point right here. You get this change of character, we come down, we sweep this section right here, and then we get a nice move to the upside before switching over. And that's something I really need to learn and pay attention. How do the EMA and VWAP correlate with one another and whatnot? And I should not have been looking for a buy and a bearish trend. So that's just kind of what that is. I appreciate you guys being here. If you have any feedback, any input or anything like that, man, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I would love to have you here, a part of the community. I am actively working on 2 YouTube channels right now, and I'm not 100% sure the course of direction that these are going to take. We will be focusing on a 3rd eventually. We will be transitioning and moving to California soon. So within like 6 months or something like that, we're going to go and live the beach life and experience some of that. So without further ado and without me rambling on anymore, I appreciate you being here. I hope that you're doing well. I hope your trades are going well. And I appreciate your time. Ciao.